Welcome to episode 2 of the Daily High with Matt McGregor and Tone Vase. First of all, I'd just like to say thank you so much for the nearly 2,000 viewers we got on our first show. That's absolutely mind-blowing. I'm so happy. We had some great comments in the under the text section, and I was really impressed by that. Tone, big news today, mate. ETF was approved. All of the ETFs were approved. What are your thoughts? Tell us, mate.
Well, yeah, so the initial thought is clearly that tweet by the SEC the day before was a real tweet, but someone like sent it out a little prematurely. And this is one of the problems with the markets, right? When things like that happen, I I am super risk averse, right? Because everyone loves to be these, 100x degenerate traders and gamblers, and I'm not like that. And this is why I was a little late entering the bullish market with my retirement money after the fake tweet by Cointelegraph that the ETF was approved. I was happy I got out at the top the day of the ridiculousness with the SEC and basically messing up and sending off that tweet early. Right now, there is the whole overlap with the GBTC ticker. I open up my TradingView chart this morning to see where GBTC is going to open, and there is no chart, right? Because they're already migrated the ticker over, right? So I personally don't like uncertainty. There's always another good profitable trade if you are a good trader that knows how to properly analyze and set up new trades. So I don't lose any sleep at night over missed opportunities. There's always another missed opportunity, but you will never sleep again if you are not careful and you end up not paying attention and you end up getting like 40-50% down, and that is something that is not recoverable. Most hedge funds just liquidate when they're in a bad position that loses them 30 to 40% because they know they can't come back from that. But losing out on missed opportunities, that's always recoverable. So I'm happy I've been careful, and the market's not even open yet. I'm still very cautious of a pullback. I trust the MRI on a weekly scale. I still think we're looking at a short-term top. A lot of people are comparing this ETF to the gold ETF and how the gold ETF went up 100% after the ETF. But for like the 9 months after the gold ETF came out, gold didn't do anything. In fact, it actually pulled back quite a bit. So I'm not in a rush. I would rather step back and carefully think about everything before rushing into any trades. You?
I agree with everything you just said, and I have done the complete opposite. I'm fully locked and loaded in this trade, and I'm super excited. We'll go through the charts in a minute, but we just had the highest 4-hour candle close. I texted to Tone earlier before we did the show. I think it was 590 days, the highest 4-hour close in 590 days, and I'll have to check that when we go through it. But that is extremely exciting for me. In my communities and in my groups, everybody's talking about how it's a bit of a lull. Like it didn't firework didn't spark on the announcement. And I think I said to everybody in my group, that fake news announcement or the intern pushing a fat fingered button or whatever was the best, absolute best thing that could have happened to Bitcoin, because all those trigger happy, hair trigger people that were like waiting to sell the news, sell the news, sell the news, as we typically do in Bitcoin, we washed them out. We got that over and done with prior to the actual announcement. Maybe that was part of the plan. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, totally, but I'm a little bit. But I think that this was a really good thing, and we've had organic growth back since then. So let's quickly start the trading competition, which is going to be a fundamental part of the show. So I'll quickly go through the rules. Hopefully in a few weeks, I don't have to go through the rules in every show. But at the start of every show, we'll be using my float indicator that I built on Alpha Numerics to enter a mock trade. We have $1,000 capital, initial capital, both of us. We can use any amount of leverage we possibly want. The winner is announced at the end of the show when we'll close the trade, and it's who has the best P&L at the end of the trade. The winner will move up a rung on the highly sophisticated chalkboard over here, and the loser will move down one. You can't go below zero. You're at zero. I'm at zero right now. I can't get any lower. The prize for that is that the loser has to publicly go on Twitter and Instagram and announce the winner. That's the prize. And then it resets and we go into season 2. So, Tone, would you like to go first tonight or would I like to go first tonight? We've actually programmed our positions prior to the show. So what do you think, mate?
All right, why don't I go first? I already have my trade set up. You have all your
Let's do it.
parameters, your leverage,
Yep.
your initial capital, and the price. The
Yep.
price
We
is
have to use the same price. So
yes. Oh wait,
you,
so do
you
I
can
need
sing
to
it
be
out to
on
me.
screen? Do I need to be
Go
on
screen
screen
share.
for this? I'm gonna screen share.
All right,
So
mate.
here are my parameters. I'm going short at exactly 47,000, 1,000, and at 20x leverage, I am in.
47,000 on the dot. You are short. Okay. Would you
Oh
like
man,
to bring up
I was talking too much in the beginning. I was planning on going short, and these two 5-minute candles had already happened.
Okay. Okay. So you want to just open the float indicator and execute the trade?
I already did that. You
Oh,
might not have. Yeah,
oh,
yeah,
yep,
I
yep,
already
yep,
did
yep.
that. Yeah, yeah.
All
I just
right,
don't have
cool.
it or not. There it is.
Yeah, there it is. So from that blue line is where Tone is short.
Right.
Okay. So if you stop screen share, I will do mine. 47 is exactly where I have to enter mine. So I'm going into screen share right now. And just for fun, I'm going into my trade. Sorry, excuse me. It's in float. Okay. Settings 47 0 0 0. I am going long.
Long. And you were
Yep.
also at 20x, huh?
Yeah, mate. I don't muck around. So this is going to be really interesting. There is absolutely going to be a defined winner of this show. If we go up, I win. We go down, you win. So I love this. I love it. All right, Tony. Well, I'll stop screen share. Please indulge us on what you see in the charts right now. I'd love to see, mate. I'm a
All right.
big fan.
I guess I'm going first on this one. Man, it's
Yeah.
actually kind of I think this is a very, very tricky environment right now. And once again, I guess after all those streams with Tyler Jenks back in 2019, I literally became more risk averse from just talking to him and spending all that time with him. And man, too bad he's not here with us. Unfortunately, he passed in 2019. So we did those streams actually in 2018. I really want to go back and review his YouTube channel and just go through every video and cut out, let's say, the most important 10 to 15 minutes of wisdom from his 300 YouTube streams that him and Leah Wall did together. I was on a lot of those shows. Socrates was on a bunch of those shows, and just cut out and make 15-minute videos out of all of them and then repost them for people. When there is all kinds of uncertainty, it's best to just stay out of the market. Even he said like 80% of the time his portfolio was in cash and he was only taking on trades that he was very, very sure on. Right now, sitting at a second consecutive MRI top on a weekly scale right below the Fibonacci line concerns me. The only way this concern goes away is actually not with a rise in price. This concern only goes away with time. There needs to be a little bit of time passing before this concern goes away. And at least another 2 weeks. Now, in those 2 weeks, of course, Bitcoin can go skyrocket to the upside and hit the next Fibonacci line. It can even go to a new all-time high. And this is why on the allocation chart, it still says 100%. Oh, they fixed the freaking chart. Excellent. They fixed the candle. The allocation chart says stay 100% bullish. Me personally, I took 75% of GBTC off the table. There was too much uncertainty. I'm happy to put it back in. It is unlikely going to be GBTC. I'd rather, use a different proxy, one of the new Bitcoin ETFs, maybe the BlackRock one. I have no idea, right? Not that I want to support BlackRock over Barry Silbert, but I'm really not happy with how Grayscale and Digital Currency Group, they've been a bad actor for Bitcoin. They've been actually a worse actor for Bitcoin than BlackRock has. BlackRock has actually not been an evil actor for Bitcoin. but Barry Silbert and Digital Currency Group have been bad actors for Bitcoin. So I definitely don't want to support them. So the chart itself still says 100% bullish on Bitcoin, nothing to worry about. Me personally, I'm going to reallocate this either today or tomorrow. I'm waiting for the dust to settle. And if I miss out on some gains, so be it. Okay, because I'm not that desperate to risk my retirement account. Now, sorry, hold on. There we go. So now go into the daily chart real quick. Nope, that's not the daily chart. It was this one. The daily chart is pointing to a brand new daily high close. This is a very, very good sign. As you can see, I had this arrow drawn in from this consolidation. We are halfway through another MRI count. You can see how the last time, we had an MRI top, price consolidated for about 4 or 5 days and then had a big crash day to the bottom of the channel. And right now, we are still actually in line. If we continue up for about 4 more days, we will reach a Bitcoin MRI top on a daily scale, which will still be just a few days into a brand new weekly candle. And topping a few days into the candle, following an MRI top candle, is still within the parameter of an MRI top. So I will be cautious basically for the next 4 to 5 days. And if the price runs away from me, it's okay, because right now, based on allocation, it's perfectly reasonable to be doing what Matt is doing, being all in, balls to the wall, degen leverage long Bitcoin, because on the allocation chart, that's exactly what it's telling you to do. That's perfectly fine. I'm going to leave it here. I'm not going to get into the short-term analysis as to, my short trade, Matt's long trade. My short's now down. Matt's long is now up. And I'll give it to him. And then we didn't cover any traditional markets today. The markets are still not going to be open for another 45 minutes. I don't know if we will or not. I leave it up to Matt to do the agenda for the show. Let me stop my screen share.
Yeah. Oh, wow. That was brilliant. And everything that you've said, I fundamentally agree with. It's only that I got into the positions, not this fake position with you. It's only that I got into the real positions that I'm in at a way better price that I'm not concerned. And why I'm completely 100% degen leverage long and position long. It's because I got in at a good price. So I'll go into screen share now and I'll give you my 2 cents. All right. So this is why I entered the trade, first of all, on the 15-minute time frame. This purple arrow here, this is a product that's not out yet, okay? But this is a next bot that's coming to our network, which we'll talk about in later shows. But I'm still, this is a completely volatile market, but I am still have no reason not to be bullish on this trade. I think that, yeah, sure, it could come down, but I think there's plenty of reasons why we might spark up in the next, the remainder of this 30-minute show. I'm taking a punt on that. But what I'm really in the real world interested in on the 4-hour time frame is this. I put this blue line in earlier tonight when we closed that previous 4-hour candle, and it is just incredible to me how that we have just had. I can't go back. I can't scroll back how long that's been. It's been 590 days since we've had a 4-hour close this high. And I don't care about any fundamental technical analysis. Nothing beats that for me. Yeah, we could have a pullback. I'm not saying enter trades right now, but looking at this in just a zoomed out point of view, what is there to be bearish of? We've got so many people talking about, oh, there has to be a 30% correction and all this. Oh, we're going to have this Wyckoff crazy nonsense. It's rubbish to me. It's rubbish. I hate this stuff. We are full guns blazing, fully bullish until we come down and show me a reason why we're not strong anymore. If there's we talk about Tyler Jenks. Maybe aside from you, the biggest Tyler Jenks fan there is. He would be in this market, in my opinion of Tyler Jenks, speaking for him, and he has zero reason to worry or to be out of this market. Do you disagree with that statement, Tone?
I don't know. This is why I wish we could ask him, right? And and it's really interesting. There will be AI products, right? So there actually is one, but we got to chat with him. Where a friend of mine, also another like crypto trading YouTuber, where he's working on this. When we say AI bot, right? We literally mean just someone wrote a program that does something, and that program just it captures every single thing Tyler ever said on his YouTube channel, and then you ask him a question, and it parses everything he's ever said and gives you the best answer from that. So this would be the
Yeah.
perfect question to ask the AI bot that has analyzed everything he has ever said on his YouTube.
Well, Tyler and I would definitely disagree on a lot of things. Alphanumerics, I had already built alphanumerics from your work and from Tyler's work prior when he was still with us, and we spoke occasionally about it. But the I had a disagreement with him, which was the green diamonds, because I want exposure at extreme lows where Tyler would never touch the green diamonds. He wouldn't. He would need a lot.
Correct.
He would be in
He
from
would need the
here for
breakout.
sure.
He needs the break. He needed the breakout.
He
Yeah.
Tyler would want to buy into strength, and I agree about buying into strength, except for extreme lows where we'll talk about this a million times. I want exposure here. I want exposure here. I want exposure here. I don't give a shit about extreme buying into strength at these points. That's just me. That's alphanumerics. It could be wrong. It hasn't been yet, but it will be. And it sometimes is often wrong in other assets, but it's not for Bitcoin. So that was where I would fundamentally disagree with Tyler on that. But here, when we're breaking out, Tyler would be, in my opinion, full blown long and have no reason to worry about it in this situation. And I have no reason to worry about this situation. There's nothing else for me to really say except what has already been covered. I reiterate the fact that we should be buying down here inside the green wave, but I mean, I don't know why you went short. You might win this competition, but you won't win the war here, Tony. This looks good to me, my friend. I mean, we're going to be doing these shows nearly every day, so I'm probably run out of material. I don't trade. I don't have any more setups. So that is me on Bitcoin right now. I am satisfied with the position. I'm satisfied long, and until proven otherwise. What do you think, Tone?
Yeah, so I guess I'll just take screen share back. This is the trade. And yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Well, we have to decide when the show ends, right? Because that could also make a difference. We're definitely gonna try to keep these shows under an hour. Yeah, we go from there. Do you want to take a, so here's what's happening with the GBTC ticker. Like until the market starts trading, until I log into my actual, Interactive Brokers trading account, like I don't know what the new ticker is. I don't even know if the GBTC premium discount even matters anymore, because as I expected, the discount and premium hit zero, almost zero, right into the creation of the ETF. This is something I always suspected. And if the ETF was going to be delayed, like I still thought it was going to be delayed, if the ETF approval was going to be delayed, we would have, would have had a little more time for that discount to get to zero. But I always expected that discount to be at zero. Once that ETF was getting approved last night, that discount went into, I think, 2%, just 2% discount. It never went into positive territory yet, but it might have today or tomorrow. But the ticker is now gone, so I have to wait and see and figure out what's going on with that ticker. Matt, do we want to go into some of the other markets? Maybe we pull up alphanumerics on things like oil, and you can give your analysis using alphanumerics. By the way, sorry guys about yesterday. It's not only the link to the alphanumerics site for you to buy it at a 20% discount. There is also a discount code you need to use. So that was our bad. We forgot. So now the discount code is in the video description. It is, I think, friend20 or something. Just check the video description. The alphanumerics team will add like a tone 20 code or something like that. But
Yeah,
you use the link and the code.
sorry, Tone. That was my fault. I forgot that you have to put the promo code into, so I apologize for that. But yeah, we could definitely look at traditional markets. Not so much oil for me, but definitely the S&P and the big stocks. 100% we could look at that, mate. I've
All right,
never
well,
actually looked at
I'm gonna
oil.
add
Should
the
check that.
alphanumerics on oil just in case. I want to see if there are any diamonds. I'm actually gonna go ahead and turn off the MRI. Right,
Yeah,
so we are.
go ahead. Go ahead and just the alphametric settings for a second, mate,
Yeah,
and see.
let's
Yep,
optimize these.
yep. See where it says Lucid SAR input. Change that to monthly. Lucid, no, yep. Click on Lucid SAR, plot Lucid SAR, and then change that to monthly for stocks and for less volatile
Commodities.
assets. Yep, and commodities. I bump up that to monthly. That gives you
Okay,
more
anything
smoothing.
here? RSI and some of the other
No,
stuff.
perfect,
Okay,
perfect.
and moving averages are good. You're using Tyler's moving
Just
averages, right?
yeah,
730.
yeah, man.
Yeah,
50 to 100. Just scroll down a little bit. Just scroll down and click on investor mode. Investor mode in that little dot there, because we're looking at the month. If we look at the monthly time frames,
but
that's for
drop
the
swinger or keep both.
keep them both. Weekly swinger, monthly investor.
Okay, wait, weekly.
You're looking at the weekly charts right now? Yep.
I am looking at the weekly charts. Yes.
Yes, you are.
Okay. All right. Cool. Okay, so according to this, actually, the wave is green. So, but there
Mhm.
was no green diamond on this weekly chart. I don't see one. So, what are you doing in the green wave? Are you waiting for the green diamond to get in, or is the green would the green like assume you don't know this is oil, or is the
Yeah.
green wave being in the green wave without breaking the lucid SARs gets you
Yeah.
into this market bullish?
Yeah, yeah, it would do. It would do if I was looking for, depending on it always goes back to like what kind of trade are we looking for? Are we scalp trading, long trading? Are we looking for a good entry? I would just say there's better value elsewhere. That's where I would say about this asset. And I wouldn't, I'm the same way with you and Tyler, where I'm risk adverse. I'm picking my assets that I want to invest in. If it doesn't fit my model, I'm not going to force it to fit the model. I'll just move on to the next asset. There's a million of them and I'll find one that fits.
Well, the S&P is sorry, S&P gold. Gold is actually grossly bullish here, way above the wave. So everything is good, right?
Yeah, everything looks good to me,
Oh
man.
wait, the
Just make sure it's on monthly. Yep, plot Lucid SAR. We're looking good.
yep. All right. And the big one, the S&P. The S&P is
Yeah.
on a real like a multi-year high here, which is great. It's literally right off the all-time high. I think this is incredibly bullish. We can turn on alphanumerics here as well. Let me plot that, make this monthly, and make this investor. And here we are, super, super bullish. I
Yeah.
don't see any diamonds.
No, no diamonds on this one. We got the purple phantom indicator in, the wave change green would be fully long, then there's no reason to think it otherwise.
All right, yeah, looks bullish. All systems go.
Yeah.
And NASDAQ, I'm sure, will look the same. And this is my correlation chart between Bitcoin and the S&P. The S&P is struggling a bit. Bitcoin is rising so far this morning. And here we have Bitfarm set to open at $3.22. That's a nice bump up, creating a beautiful high. I was trying to get into a options swing trade after actually 2 days ago because I feel more comfortable with options short term because of the price volatility doesn't affect the price of the options as much. But I did not, it didn't enter me because I kind of really wanted to lowball the entry. It didn't happen, so it's unfortunate. I was trying to get in because Bitfarms was pulling back on the day I exited the GBTC, so I had extra capital. I was trying to get into a Bitfarms options swing trade, the details of which I'm not going to provide, but it did not fill me, unfortunately. Had it filled me, this options trade would have been doing really, really nicely. But again, I don't lose sleep over missed opportunities. There's always opportunities. There's an opportunity to make money in the market every second of every day somewhere. So I don't sweat missed opportunities. I just work harder to find new, better opportunities. Matt, any other assets you want to look at? Any
Yeah,
traditional market stuff?
could you bring up Tesla for a second?
Sure. Can turn on alphanumerics
Yeah,
here.
and just go to the
Yeah,
weekly for me for a second, would you
I
mind?
gotta change the settings.
Yeah.
Monthly here as well, right?
Yeah, I reckon.
And weekly chart
Yeah, and just zoom out. This is a proud moment for me. Just yeah, like zoom
right
a lot
there.
more out. God, you have cluttered charts. Oh yeah, just go into the
Not
settings for
really.
1 second.
Go
Do
to,
me
I can drop the MRI, but you can see how the MRI also called it right there.
I think just drop the moving averages. Move the averages that you've got
These
on.
moving averages are
They
from your indicator, not mine.
are yeah, just go into the settings of
I mean,
alphanumerics
I
for
have my
one
moving
second.
averages as well. Oh no, there's a
Yeah,
one with my
yeah,
moving
that
averages. Sorry,
yeah,
not yours.
and then just oh yeah, because you've turned off all my alphanumeric settings. We'll go through this later then. We'll go through this later then. But just go into the alphanumeric settings for a second, and then see that reverse button. Turn that reverse button off. Make sure go up, scroll up, 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 up.
That's up.
No, see the reverse button under signals. Turn that reverse button off. Perfect. That's been
Okay.
bothering me on your shows for 3 years.
Okay.
See that's just moves to the diamond. Okay, so that's where the diamond's supposed to be. So we called an absolute beauty
Wait, wait. So what's the
on
difference? If I
it's
have reverse,
inverse. It's inverse. So it's bloody handy actually, and I use it for other trading methodologies as well, especially for red diamonds. So rather than the criteria being met to the downside, it's when it comes back over the criteria as in more of a bullish structure. Like instead of going crashing down, we hit the green diamond, it'll do the inverse when it's coming back up. And which I use quite often,
right?
especially
Well,
like
that this seems to fit my style a little bit more, but yeah, that's good to know.
It's the whole thing about the indicator is it's dealer's choice. I don't want to tell people. I'd hate the idea that
Right.
someone's thinking that these are specific buy and sell signals. It's just everything that I believe that you would need over your charts, and you refine it how you see fit. But we got a classic buy on Tesla down here at the bottoms, and then you watch along. The wave turns green. You can double the position. We are all systems go to today where we are now. Um, and same with Meta. Meta is an absolute gem. That's just down on your watch list as well. You can look at that. Even look at the monthly on Meta.
Oh, wait. I know we looked at the history, right? But what's more important is what is Tesla looking like now, right? And right now, to me, Tesla
Good.
is kind of bullish, but
Yeah.
I'm still a little bit concerned. It's still in a downtrend, right? It has a third consecutive lower swing high. It has already had two lower swing lows. Yes, according to alphanumerics, it is still bullish on this weekly scale, but according to the MRI, I'm getting a red star, which tells me I should not be in a bullish trade right now. And I think there is a decent probability Tesla is going to pull back into the middle of this downward sloping range down to 200. And so
Yeah.
right
I
now,
agree.
I would
I
be
agree.
very careful, and I would not go long Tesla until it breaks a prior swing high, which it has not done since, back in May of last year.
I couldn't agree more. We could get to the bottom side of that channel, and that wouldn't surprise me whatsoever. But that would be the buy for me. The buy is not now. We're in the liminal space right now between two buys. So either we get above that blue line at 256, that's all guns blazing bullish, or we drop back down into that green wave nearer to the lucid SAR. There's too big a gap for me right now between where my bias changes and where the current price is, the mark price is. If I wanted this asset, there's two prices above that blue line or with a drop down to the bottom of that channel around where you've got those green dots there, Tone, on your the on the MRI.
Yeah.
I love that. I love using these dots, man. This is So many good buys I've bought
Oh
off
yeah.
these, and
No, the
I
MRI
love
support
it.
line is very, very good. Yeah.
The MRI support line is very, very good, and that wouldn't invalidate anything that I believe on that asset. And Meta, on the other hand, if you go to the monthly on the
I
Meta,
mean, this
this will
cannot be any more bullish to me.
no
Like I would have like zero concerns.
go to
Again,
the monthly. Go to the
I
monthly.
love to
Trust me.
buy I love to buy strength. And the only concern that I would have right now is Meta has rallied a long way. Oh yeah,
Oh,
there you go. There are
you
your green
no
diamonds.
Go to the monthly. We like monthly on most stocks. I would use the monthly. It'll blow your mind. Scroll across. Boom.
Yeah, there it is.
You love double tops. A V-shaped recovery to a double top. That's a buy for you, Tone.
No, it's not. No, not like this, right? This is where I always expect a
Cup and handle.
a cup and handle, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. This is where I look for things like this. And this is what I really want to see. I want to see a decent pullback. And then I am a huge bull right here. Like this is what I'm really looking for out of Meta.
Me too. Me too.
So
And then
I am concerned when we reach a prior swing high with no pullbacks in between.
I I agree, but I'm 100% long from down there at 95. So for me, I'm not selling this position, trimming this position, waiting for the cup and handle. There's nothing to do. There's nothing to do. Nothing to do.
Well, yeah. So what I would do is this is a weekly scale and it's rallying like crazy. I would probably trim if it keeps rallying into an MRI top. I would trim there. Otherwise, I would only trim on a stop loss, and that stop loss is going to be, at the moment closer to 340 or something like that. Like it needs to be visibly going down.
Mm. Once again, you're right. It just depends on what kind of if you bought a once in a generational buy, you're not trimming is actually detrimental to you. Do you know, like in five, if your plan was to hold the position for 5, 10 years or something, there's no reason to trim it yet. Not while that wave's green in my books. But I hear you. I hear you. If you didn't get the same entry, for sure. Why don't we just quickly have a look at anything that you want to look at? That's fine. But we'll review Ethereum too
Well,
because it had a
we
great
should
day.
review what's going on. The CPI numbers came out 30 minutes ago.
Yeah, you take that, my friend. You take that.
And so the CPI actually comes in that inflation is higher than expected. And when inflation comes in higher than expected, one of two things, one of the fears that shows up is what is the Fed going to do with the interest rate? Because remember, one of the reasons why the Fed has such a high interest rate is because of fear of inflation. So if inflation is ticking up, don't expect the Fed to lower the rates anytime soon. And we can go and take a look at rate expectations. So I don't expect the Fed to lower rates this year. I think they will keep them steady or they will raise the rate. There is a 2.6% chance they will lower the rate what's today at the end of this month, but 97% confidence that they will not. So this is the only CPI information that the Fed has going into this meeting. So it looks like everyone has said that the rate is not going to be raised or lowered. But if you look, there is a huge expectation that the Fed is going to lower the interest rate next, I guess, next announcement day, which is all the way in March. We will see what happens when we get to March. The 10-year yield has been dropping, and the Fed just follows what the 10-year yield is doing in the free market. And the 10-year yield has dropped. I think the 10-year yield is going to rise, and then this probability will slowly drop as the probability that they will not alter the rate will rise. So just a thought on the yield, and people are asking for MSTR. So we can go and take a look at MicroStrategy. I'm not sure why I don't have it in my stock list. I probably should. Let me see here, MSTR. And I'm gonna raise it up. It should be, somewhere near the top. It's moving super slow, so it's annoying. And you have a list of all of you. I haven't made my Telegram trading view. I haven't made my trading view list of all of the ETF options. So I'll
Yeah,
need to do it as well.
I put them all in there, but I'm not sure if they're all correct because some of them already have trade volume, so I have to review it. I was gonna ask your
Right.
advice on that, but
All right. MSTR is still dropping on a weekly scale. So I mean, it could be good. I'm looking for a new proxy for Bitcoin. They're going to open up, which is great. A lot of people, sold MSTR because because Michael Saylor decided to sell a bunch of stock. We'll see. They have their earnings coming up soon. So we got to keep an eye on that. But no comment really, because MSTR follows the stock market and it follows Bitcoin. So it's very difficult to independently chart MSTR because it's so dependent on other factors. There is a floor of prior pullback down in $480 zone. So that is potential. MSTR is almost at its all-time high. I like the red diamond there, green diamond here. That's nice. And MRI called it down here as well. And MRI was a few weeks early on the upside. Beautiful MRI buy, however, right here on the weekly scale. The Alpha Metrics is showing a bearish triangle followed by a bullish triangle. You might have to explain what that means. Is that moving average crossovers?
yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yeah, look at, I mean, just looking at this chart, I don't want to, if I do a show with you every day, I have to repeat the same thing. There's nothing to worry about on this chart.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it could pull back, but doesn't, the shape, the structure of the whole thing looks fine. You would have got in way back. But the only issue I have with micro strategies is, and you have a different reason for tax purposes, but for me, it's a correlated asset to Bitcoin, which I hold.
Right.
So I just don't see the value in holding it. And maybe
Well,
it'll outperform it or
it's a
something. I'm
Bitcoin
fine.
proxy, right? And it did
Right.
outperform GBTC, even with its incredible catch-up of the discount.
Yeah, it just definitely did. And it's probably outperformed Bitcoin in the last year or so anyway, but I couldn't give a shit. I'd rather hold Bitcoin, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So if there's no other questions, we're gonna go and take a look at our trades and see
Yep.
who won today's round.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Oh, there it is. It just popped.
All right. Well, let's call the show right now. See you guys. We're gonna see you tomorrow.
All right, we're tied at 1-1.
All right. Well, what was your? Well, I'd like to. Can I go screen share, please, my friend?
My PNL, I lost 20. I lost $260.
Yeah, and that's 26%. That's
Yeah.
it's a nosebleed.
Well, this is why I was gonna set a stop loss, right, at 1%.
No, we don't do stop losses on this show. We don't promote them. Just kidding. It's $1,000
No,
bucks. Who cares?
but we have to go in a different direction, right? Because your trade was actually at 20x leverage, and so was mine. So if I would have picked the
Oh,
upside, we would have been tied, and that we
that's
gotta
okay. That's
we gotta.
okay. That's not going to happen in every show. I didn't know you were gonna. We're gonna keep re-upping ourselves until
Yeah.
one day
Well,
someone goes
you know what we're
100x.
gonna need to do? I think if we alter our starting capital, and we can alter our leverage, then always someone's gonna win, and even if we go in the same direction, right? So starting capital could be different and leverage could be different. So now there's two variables that make sure that we're not gonna be tied, even if we go in the same direction.
You're overcomplicating it. We've done 2 shows. We've had 2 clear winners. Let's give me the screen share. I gotta go to the board for a second. All right. Dun, 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 dun. How did old Matt go? Decent. Decent. What is that? What I gotta move you out of the way.
Well, it's the
Yep.
same thing in the opposite direction, right? Because we have the same starting capital and the same leverage. So if mine is down 25, yours is going to be up 25.
29, we'll call it 29%. Bang, that's the win. We'll go over to the board here. I'm off I'm off the ears for a second.
Oh, you got to come off screen share, otherwise you can't see the board.
All right. There it is. It's one up, one down. I win, you lose.
Matt, nobody can see the board. You're still on screen share.
Oh, how about that? They can see the board?
No, you got to come off screen share. You got to end screen share.
Sorry, guys. I'm terrible at tech. All right. As you can see, I'm one up. Tone's one down.
No way, but I won yesterday, so shouldn't we be tied now?
No, mate. If you lose, you go down a rung. That's it. That's the rules.
But you lost yesterday. Shouldn't you have been at -1?
It's in the rules. You can't go lower than 0. That's very clearly defined in the rules. Oh, you've lost my camera. That's it. That's the end of the show. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.